Hello viewers, we are just 1 month away from the launch of Forza Motorsport, and we've had quite a lot of new information about the game, so I'm going to go over it in this video. Now, on a very important side note, I do have access to the game, as you can see here. I'll be playing on controller, and I will give it a good go on the wheel, as you can see here. I can start releasing content on the game from the 11th of September, so do get yourself subscribed if you want to see that, and let me know in the comments what you want to see. Let's kick this off with the tracks in the game. We do have a full track list now because they've been doing a bunch of reveals. And as you can see, the top table here, 20 circuits, 5 of them are new to Forza. Eagle Rock, Grand Oak, Hakone, 3 new fictional circuits. Then the 2 new real tracks, Catalonia and Mid-Ohio. And at the bottom there, you can see the tracks that were in Forza 7, but not in this game. Well, we'll touch on that in a moment. So let's start off with these new fictional circuits. So firstly, Eagle Rock Speedway. I mean, this is quite simple. It's an oval. It looks like there might be one other configuration with this little triangle here. So I don't think there's too much to see with Eagle Rock. It looks like quite a simple circuit. Next up, we have Grand Oak, and this is another brand new to Forza track. Looks fairly simple looking at this map. 2 configurations. See this cut through in the center. Then the yellow line, the outside loop. We also have Hakone Circuit, another new track to Forza. Remains to be seen what that track will be like. I've got to say that overall, fictional circuits in Forza, personally I think they've been a little bit disappointing in recent years, like Bernese Alps, Rio and Prague. They're kind of okay at best, so it'd be interesting to see what these tracks play like and how they feel. And going back to this list, let's look at the bottom one. So, I mean, as I said, Bernese Alps, Prague, Rio, they don't make it into this game. Nor does Top Gear Test Track, sadly. But the ones I'm really missing for me are going to be Hockenheim, Monza, Mount Panorama, Road Atlanta and Sebring. Like, those 5, it's kind of a shame that they're not there. And Nordschleifer as well, of course. Brands Hatch, I mean, there's quite a lot of tracks here which I'm kind of sorry to not be seeing at launch. Now, Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit is going to be in the game at launch, but quite sadly, guys, the Nordschleifer is not going to be there. But at least they will be adding it afterwards. That's something, I suppose. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts. Is this good? Is this enough tracks? Yes, we'll be seeing more after launch, but 20 to begin with, it's not bad, but I wouldn't say it's great either. Now, relating to tracks, we had this reveal of Catalonia, and I mean, this car model definitely went down a storm on Twitter. It does look dated. The colouring doesn't look the best there, and the detail. So it's going to be really interesting to see this, this car list and how it plays out, and whether or not it really does feel as though it's been built from the ground up. Now, I kind of alluded to this in my previous video that I wasn't totally convinced by what I saw of this game before release, but I really want it to succeed. I really want to like it. I really hope it does well. So back in June, they did this Builders Cup video, and I covered this in that previous video, so we're not going to really touch upon this too much. But in the meantime, we have seen a couple of Forza monthlies which have gone over some new information. Now, this was very interesting, right? If I move myself again over here, you might notice that this curb, this is Monza Turn 1, and you look at the radar there, the map on the screen, that is definitely Monza. So I don't know if this confirms anything. It looks like Monza is at least in development. If I move myself again out of the way, you see there it says captured from development build. What this means, I have no idea, but I'd imagine that Monza isn't too far away. Hopefully it's one of the tracks they add into the game just after launch. Now, after watching this clip this was Forza Monthly in July, I don't think there's too much to hear here. I mean, it's a lot of developer speak. Yes, there's more detail, more fidelity. So in the Forza Monthly of July, Chris Sasaki said the following.
Lifting even the slightest mid-corner in FM7 would often cause just an incredible amount of throttle lift oversteer. So
in Forza 7 and actually earlier Forzas, the meta way of driving was to go into a corner, lift off the power, that would rotate the car, then you accelerate away. And that was always the strongest way to drive. That might not be the case in this game where lifting off gives you so much rotation. So it's going to be interesting to know exactly what the meta way of driving will be. And I think this brings us on nicely to the topic of wheel driving. So this is some gameplay of Chris Sasaki driving around Catalonia. To be honest, there's not too much to be worked out from this. He just drives around for a lap on a wheel. But I do think this will be an important topic of discussion for this game, whether or not it will be playable or good on a wheel. If you go to the official Forza website, it does list out all of the wheels that are compatible. You're seeing your normal FANATEC, Logitech, Thrustmasters, quite a long list, including the new Moser wheels as well. I personally will give this a test on the FANATEC McLaren wheel, which is Xbox compatible, and I'll be making a video on this after the 11th of September. So of course, if you want to see what equipment I'm going to be using, then it's all in the description, but I'm going to give this a good test, and I really want to know if this plays well on a wheel. They've also gone over the ideal specs, or minimum specs, recommended specs and ideal specs for PC. So pretty good equipment for the ideal specs, but I don't think you really have to go too crazy. I mean, even the recommended specs there, an RTX 2080 Ti, that is the one I'm using actually right now. That's like 3 or 4 years old. So over time, they've been releasing the car list slowly. We know that there's going to be over 500 cars in this game. And in the coming weeks as well, they're going to be revealing more and more of the car list. And that means that this list of all the cars is slowly being populated. It hasn't been updated since August 30th as I make this video. But I do think there's a good range of cars here. And just like the tracks, they are going for less quantity but more quality, so more detail. That's quite a clear direction that this game, and I think Gran Turismo as well to an extent. You know, as a fan of GT3 cars, I was kind of like flicking through the list, and you know, there are some newer GT3 cars, but you know, not the hugest amount. But I think the 500 car list kind of covers a lot of bases. It's not going to satisfy everyone, but there's kind of a bit of everything, which is, I think, a good start. Let's not forget, of course, that Forza 7 had over 700 cars at launch, so this is 200 less. And again, let me know your thoughts on this. Do you prefer less content but higher quality, or the other way around? So another thing that has been covered is that of AI. So they did this comparison between the AI in the current game on the left and then Forza 7 AI on the right. And this demonstration shows this Mazda around Maple Valley. Just shows you how much quicker and more intelligent the new AI will be. And they've got rid of driver tires for a start. This AI will be sort of less scripted and more sort of machine learning and intelligent. So once again, it was kind of one of those tech demos where there's a lot of developer speak. It remains to be seen how good this will be, truly. But I want to put this to the test, 11th September. But you see here, clearly the new AI is a lot quicker, just on pure pace. In terms of intelligence when you're racing it, that would be interesting to see. There's not really anything on that at the moment. I think single player is going to be a big component of the game for a lot of people, so it is important that the AI is sort of worth racing against. Now, something else they covered in Forza Monthly August was that of multiplayer. I'm going to go on to this in a different video because I think it deserves its own video in its own right. But they do touch upon the tyre compounds, and this is fundamental to the way that the game will play. If I find the exact bit here. So you can see here at the start of this event, you are choosing your tyre compound and your fuel load. So the way that this game will play is fundamentally different than Forza 7, where you kind of just drive the car. Tyre compounds wasn't a thing. Fuel load didn't really matter at all. So you're going to have to be a bit more considerate about the way that your car changes over time within a race. We know about the rubbering in of the track. Obviously there's dynamic time, there's dynamic weather. So there's a lot more factors now, I think, that will change and affect the way that you have to drive through the course of a race, which I think is really cool. Forza, sometimes in the past, it felt a bit dead. You drive lap 1 exactly the same as you drive lap 500. But in this game, I think that's changed. You're going to have to drive differently throughout the course of a race. And then that brings us to this. This was the pit stop animation. So you're going to come in. Then there's all the different compounds available. So what do we have? We have hard, medium, soft, stock tires. So I'm presuming like not racing tires. And then wet tires as well. And then of course there's this graphic showing you the rough amount of time it's going to take to do the pit stop. So as I say, this is going to make the game feel a lot more alive. And Chris Sasaki is saying that once those tires, you can see here, they've gone orange. But once they go red, that's the worst amount of wear. So it's going to be interesting to know, like, as you go through this game, let's say it's a 10-lap event, is it best just to go for the soft tyre and then have the advantage at the beginning, but then you're going to wear out your tyres, you'll be slow at the end. This is something we're going to have to work out. So yeah, just 1 month to go, guys, until the release of this game. I'm really excited for it. I'm a little bit nervous as well. I'm just really hoping they do nail it, because it's been 6 years. It's been 6 long years. It's been 84 years, basically. And hopefully it is good. I really hope it is, because I think Forza needs a good game from launch. Previous games have been kind of a bit plagued at the beginning, and so this one kind of needs to be good straight away. But in the meantime, have an amazing day. I shall catch you very soon. Goodbye.